Welcome to Master the Game. I am Juice, and today we are going to be talking about a DM's Guild product called Ancestral Weapons by the Dungeon Rollers. So let's get started. So this product, Ancestral Weapons, is a really good product. It comes in PDF form. It's only about $5 over on the DM's Guild. I'm going to have a link below. Now, the reason I think it's so good is it adds so much to your games. If you've ever had players who will dump their weapons just for the next magic item, and you just feel like it's getting old and you got to keep, ramping it up by giving them more and more magic items, and basically a Monty Haul campaign, this is your solution right here. Now, it only covers weapons, which is kind of the downside to it. I kind of wish that it went into armor and other equipment. However, the stuff that's in here for the weapons is fantastic. Some of my favorite things are the personality traits it gives and the different upgrades you can get for your weapons. They're really good. They could probably add more. I think there's 130 upgrades, and I think some of them are just the same thing, but a level higher. Now, if at any point you are not satisfied with your upgrades, there are ways that you can swap them out with DM approval. And it's not meant to be something you just swap in and out however you feel. It's more of, like, hey, this isn't vibing with how I envisioned it. Can we come up with a way in the game to maybe commune with our ancestors and change the ability? There's also the ability to upgrade upgrades. So you have some that are like a level 1 upgrade, level 2, level 3. And it has nothing to do with your character's level. It's the ability level. So, for example, you can have an ability that gives you a +1 to hit, +1 to damage. And it's a level 1. The level 2 version is +2, +2. So +2 to hit, +2 to damage. But you trade in the first one. You then get the points back for the first one and then apply those points, the spirit points, to the second upgrade. And now you have the second upgrade as itself. And I think this is a really cool concept. I do like it. But I feel like you could have done it differently where you're not having to trade in the ability. It could literally just be you have the level 1 version. Now to get the level 2 version, you have a prerequisite of the first one, and it's going to cost this many points now for this. So now you have, this one over top of that, and you ignore the first one. That's how you could have done it, rather than saying, well, you traded in to get the points to then buy the second one. I feel like that's a lot of extra bookkeeping. But it's the same thing in the end, no matter how you slice it. And the reason I thought of this is I'm thinking like, oh, there's feat trees and like previous editions of D&D and things like that kind of negate the old ability sometimes with the new, So anyways, so I thought that was pretty cool. There's some really good tables in here, such as what kind of wood is your weapon made out of? What kind of metal? What's its personality trait? So you might have a weapon that is always seeking fame, right? And I don't know if that's actually on the table, but as an example, your weapon is always seeking fame. So if you have an opportunity to do some showing off, the weapon kind of provokes you to do it. It nudges you in that direction. Or you might be greedy. Maybe your character's not greedy, but the weapon is greedy. So when an opportunity comes to maybe take a quest for money, the weapon kind of, again, gives you a sense that this is what you need to do. You need to get that money. And so you feel like my precious is driving you to do something. You know what I mean? This product is pretty short. It is only 28 pages. Now again, there's a lot of good stuff in here. I made a weapon that you can download on my website. It's a great sword for a barbarian I played once. However, it's meant to be many generations after he's passed and his ancestors get the weapon. In this PDF, I made the weapon at full power. So what you can do if you're a DM, you can give it to your players if they are playing a Goliath Barbarian and you want them to be a descendant of Gorlak. They can then unlock the abilities as they go on. The idea with the unlocks of the upgrades is you get spirit points. Now, spirit points are awarded to you at the DM's discretion. However, it's supposed to be on average of 1 per level. Once you get 20 spirit points, the weapon is at full power, and you get 5 additional spirit points. This is fantastic, honestly. It allows you to spend 25 points to buy things. Now, there's upgrades that cost 10 points, and there's upgrades that cost like 3 points. You can trade for different ones later on. You can save them as you get more spirit points, however you see fit. I thought it would be cool to award them in batches of like 5 points, rather than just going, okay, you get 1 more point. The PDF product does state that when you earn a point, your weapon will glow and vibrate slightly so the player knows he earned a spirit point. I thought they could have left that open and just gave you a few possible ways for this to happen, rather than saying this happens all the time to these types of weapons. I thought you could have said, okay, this is one option. You could have it glow, or maybe it hums, or maybe when you're sleeping the next time you basically are able to communicate with your ancestors. There's a lot of different things you could do to give this off to your players that, hey, you just earned some spirit points, without saying you just earned 2 spirit points. The other thing about this that is kind of a negative, again, I love this product, but is that I feel like the magic items in here are the non-ancestral ones are always going to be better than the ancestral ones. And the reason is they don't have any of the flaws like the personality things that maybe push you to do things. So that's one big thing. Another thing about it that I thought made them better is they get the same amount of points. So without the flaws, but you can get the same abilities, that's going to be better. And so the original thing about this that I had said earlier in this video is that you don't want your players to just trade this weapon for the next magic item. However, if you have an ancestral weapon, there's a good chance you might trade it for the magic ones out of here. So that's kind of my thing there. Again, I said they didn't do anything with armor or any other kind of magical items that you would typically have. And I think that's a missed opportunity. I think they could have went into ancestral armor, and maybe that's a product they could release down the road, or maybe it's something that they could add to this. I think things like a family heirloom, such as a ring or a hair clip or scarf, all sorts of different things you can go. Boots, all of these things could be items that you apply the same ancestral traits to. And you could even have under the upgrades, maybe some are weapon upgrades, maybe some are armor, some are other, and maybe some of these upgrades could fall into multiple categories. So you're kind of adding some complexity, but I think the additional options would be, I think, appreciated by anyone buying the product, personally. I know I would appreciate it. There's some really interesting ones that were already made in here that I like. And there's only a few, unfortunately. I wish there were a few more of that. But like Griffin's Rest is cool. There's the Windblade, Keshyakin Ilma, the Staff of the Homing Tree. So there's only 4. But I think they're pretty good. They have a good crafting table in the back. It tells you how much the cost is for an ancestral weapon or a magical weapon with however many points. It tells you how much time it would take to craft it. Tells you the rarity. Tells you the upgrades that are available. If it requires attunement. I really like this product. It has me really interested in trying out some more products by these guys. So if you'd want to see some more reviews on this channel, like this, or even, something, maybe it's official products, leave a comment below what you would like to see. And maybe we'll see if we can make that happen for you guys. But I'm looking forward to doing more of these in the future. I enjoyed reviewing this product, like I said. And so hopefully I provided some value and you are now either interested in getting this or you are not interested. Maybe $5 for 28 pages isn't enough for you. I would pay $5 for this any day. I do wish it had a printed copy. I wish you could do like a print on demand, because while I printed it, because that's how I read better. I don't like reading PDFs. It would be really nice to have this in like a glossy finish, kind of like the old Paizo little catalogs they had that were like 10, 15 bucks. Those were nice. They might still do those. I don't know. But yeah, so anyways, I would love to see this as a print on demand option. I would probably pay upwards of $10, $12 for it. So that's my thoughts. Yeah, I'd love to hear yours. I've also got a blog post about this where I elaborate on the different sections in order of the book, you know, from chapter 1 all the way through, I think, chapter 6. I talk a little bit about more of the upgrades in here. Obviously, not all upgrades in here are equal. However, the spirit points reflect that. Some cost more than others. And, yeah, and obviously, there's a lot of them have situational things. So what might be useful over here in this kind of situation won't be as useful over here in this situation. So, yeah. Anyways, this was Master of the Game. I am Juice. Game on.